Hello and welcome back. Wow, it's been a minute since I've recorded anything. I think it's been over a year, and I've been having a great time uh, living my best life, and I just have not been recording anything. A lot of my creative pursuits went on pause as I poured energy back into myself. And I feel like I've learned a lot of things over this last year that gives me a lot to talk about. So I think without further ado, I want to talk about this following point. Your life is completely, entirely in your hands. I know it is so cliche. I know everybody says that you're the master of your own destiny and you're the captain of your own ship. And this is so true. But for the first time, I actually felt this in my bones. You can have a million and one wonderful ideas for your life, for the way that you would like things to go. You might have projects in mind. You might want your life to look a particular way. You might be wanting to call in certain energies or experiences or just a certain structure to your day to day. And it's like it exists in our heads, but the thought of actually making it real, we're waiting for our external circumstances to change. We're waiting for somebody to come along and give us permission and say, hey, yeah, that's a fantastic idea. You should do that. And I've realized that that achieves exactly nothing. If you want something to happen, you have to go out there and take it. You have to make it happen. The stars aren't going to align for you to make it the perfect opportunity at the perfect time. Things can happen, things can come up where once you take the action, once you make the decision that you're going for this, the stars align, but they're not going to align before you make that decision, if that makes sense. So, a silly example, a very minor one from this last couple of months of my life, let's say. I have recently started writing myself goals the next 6 to 12 months. And it's something that I do in my job, my 9 to 5. And it's something that I've started doing in my personal life. So I write myself a quarterly strategy and I say, okay, in work, I'll say, okay, in the next 3 months, I need to achieve this, this, and this. What needs to happen in order for me to achieve this? And then off I trot. I've started doing the same thing. And one of the things that I wrote on my list last year was that I really wanted to do a snow trip with my children. I thought, gee, this will be great. I'm going to surprise the kids, take them to the snow, try and make it happen. But every time I'd look into it, it was either going to cost me thousands and thousands of dollars for just a couple of days in the snow to take my family, my mum, my sister with us. I just couldn't justify that kind of money. There are far more productive things that I could be spending that money on. And so I thought, okay, I can't make that happen. And then a conversation happened with my other sister, and she said, well, how about you go to this other place? And it's not as fancy, it's not a resort, you can't do all these things, but you'll still get to see some snow. To me, that was like a revelation. So I started planning for that. I was looking and the weather reports, looking at the calendar, trying to tee something up, and there was just no snow. It was just not happening. It didn't seem to be cold enough. The weather was just not playing ball. And I found myself saying, I think I'm going to have to put this on next year's list. I just don't think it's going to happen. It's something that I really wanted, but it's just not happening. And so I accepted that there wasn't going to be any snow. Fast forward, I had told a couple of my friends about this plan that I had, and one of them said, hey, why don't we go to this other place and then we can time it, we can all do a road trip, we can all just hang out, and then, if there's no snow, if nothing happens, then at least we had a lovely time hanging out, made plans to go visit my new baby nephew. This trip was happening regardless, and I thought to myself, okay, there's not going to be any snow. And then my friend goes, well, let's look at this place. It's only a couple of hours drive away. If it's not working out, we don't have to go. No harm, no foul. Is that the saying? I don't know. So we made the drive, and then last minute, it just ended up being the most fantastic weather. And Everybody locally was saying it never snows on that mountain. The fact that you were getting snowflakes falling on your heads and there was the perfect amount of snow on the day that we just decided to risk it all and drive up there just to see if we could get even a glimpse of snow. It was a miracle. The day before, so we were saying, okay, maybe we drive up on the Friday, and then one of our friends had a work commitment, so Friday was out of the window, and we said, okay, let's go on Saturday. So we just decided last minute, let's do Saturday. On Friday, the toboggan run was a mud pit. There was no snow, nothing. It was not looking promising. And then the stars aligned, and on the day that we decided to go, it was beautiful, perfect snow. It was a miracle. The children loved it. My mum loved it. We had the best time. Our friends loved it, their kids. It was just amazing. And my mum on the drive home kept saying, wow, I can't believe that we actually made that happen. It wasn't looking like it was going to happen at all. Sometimes our desires look like they're out of reach or look like they're not going to happen. If I was basing my decision making on logic and common sense and a sure thing, it's not like I knew there's going to be snow on that mountain. And you know what? There may well not have been. But we accepted that and we took the risk and we made the decision to lock in. We said, you know what? We're going to try. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And that's going to be okay. And then, of course, it ended up being the most perfect, miraculous day ever. We could not believe our luck. At the Snow Higher place, the people kept saying, you are so lucky. So lucky. This never happens. And yeah, we couldn't believe it either. So that's just one example. And that's an easy one that's, hopefully makes sense to everybody, where there's something that you want. It doesn't look like it's going to happen, but you decide to lock in and just do your best. And then all of a sudden, everything works out. We could have waited and said, oh, is there going to be guaranteed snow? Is there a guaranteed track record of snow this year? Is it all going to work out? Did somebody say, yep, you need to come, this is a great idea? None of that happened. All it came down to was we had a desire and we acted on it. And because we did that, the stars aligned. And that's not just the only example, it could be in relationships. If you're not happy or things are not going well, you can sit and complain about it, or you can actually take actions to make the change that you want to see. That doesn't mean leave that relationship, although in some cases that may be the case. It might be that you just need to take matters into your own hands and just make it happen. You need to make that decision. I speak for myself. I stand on that cliff's edge for so much of my life, just looking down and beyond at the unknown and just being too scared to take that leap, being too scared to trust myself and back myself and just make it happen, even though I know that it's something that I want to experience. Nobody's coming to save you. If you need more money in your life, relying on a lottery win to make that happen is not a plan. It might happen, but that's not the plan. That's not the, that's not the likely way that it will go. If you're not happy in your job, no one's going to come along and say, you know what, you're a fantastic employee, we really value you, but we're going to let you go and here's a giant redundancy package while you look for another even more amazing job at your leisure. Sometimes that happens, but not usually. If you don't like something that's in your life, no one's coming to tell you how to fix it, when to fix it, and basically fixing it for you. Everything is in your hands. You have complete and total control. You can wake up tomorrow morning and decide to do something completely different, and you can. Everything, the action of doing, is pretty simple. It's one foot in front of the other, and you're doing it. The most difficult thing, the biggest obstacle, is your mind, is that belief somehow that I'm not ready, or I'm not smart enough, or I'm ill-equipped, I'm not capable. Whatever the belief might be behind the thing, you just have to stop, take stock, come up with a reasonable plan, because for every desire, there is a reasonable way to achieve it. I don't think any of us are desiring something that's so completely out of this world that it's totally unachievable. If you can see it around you, if somebody else is doing what you want to be doing, it is possible. Your only job is to get out of your way. And if you want something to happen in your life, whether it's a trip to the snow, which by the way ended up costing us barely any money at all. The original research and quotes and everything that I was looking at was astronomical. This was 1/10 of that price. Less. It was a miracle. The whole thing was a miracle. And that's just one silly little example that I can share without getting too personal of a point where if you make a decision and you decide to go for it, chances are it's going to work out. So do with that what you will, but I hope that this gives you that little pause for that thing that you're wanting to achieve, that you listen to this and go, you know what, I'm going to do it. I'm going to take those actions. Don't wait for tomorrow. Just get it done. If there's things that you have to do to build a foundation for it to be logical and practical and make sense, do that, even if it begins with research. If you want to buy a house and have your dream home, go to the bank, find out how much you can borrow. Ask for a promotion. Start getting diligent with your savings. Do what you need to do. You don't need to wait until tomorrow or wait for a week, because before you know it, years have gone by and nothing has shifted. You're not getting any younger. Life is just continuing to tick along. So if there's things that you want to achieve, today's the day. Get your laptop or your phone, your computer out, whatever it may be. Do the research, do the planning. Get a piece of paper and just jot down what you'd like to achieve. If you're not clear on what that is, just sit down and do some writing. Figure out what it is that you want. And then some of those things, I promise you, are so much more achievable than you thought. All the things that I've written down on my lists, I don't go too crazy with it. I keep it reasonable, but a little bit of a stretch goal. And I love writing it down because that way you can look back and say, hey, I actually achieved that. It's not some arbitrary goal that you set yourself in your head you never come back to. I split it up into achievable timeframes, achievable goals, and when I look back, I've actually achieved all of them because I've claimed it. I've decided for myself, I am making this happen. And if goals come up that I don't achieve, that's fine. I'll figure out a different way to do it. But there you have it, folks. Do with that what you will. Good luck and Godspeed. Mwah.